This is your stimulus check update information. Congress right now, it looks like they have a $3.5 trillion budget plan that they want to get passed. Now, in this budget plan, there could be this American Families Plan. And it looks like they want to extend out a lot of the new stimulus plans that are happening right now. They want to get things moved, pushed out. They want to get it moved out towards a couple of years out into the future. And they want to add in more stimulus to this plan. But they have to go through Congress. They got to go through House of Representatives. And they got to go through the Senate. Nancy Pelosi looks like she's bringing a lot of people back from their recess back to Washington so they can vote on this budget plan. She's working on trying to get it done so they can go back to the Senate, they can vote on it, and then move it into President Biden's desk. So they're going to try to push a lot of these things that are happening right now. If you're getting stimulus checks right now, they're going to try to extend that out. If you did not receive your stimulus checks, there's still ways for you to pick up the stimulus check. In fact, if you've never received any stimulus and you should have gotten it, there is a way to get that. And I'm going to cover a lot of the details in this video. Some of the states look like they're going to be sending out more checks to people. All the states received billions and billions of dollars, and now they're going to be turning around and giving that back out to the people that live in those areas. Also, if you are in a state that's not on the list, you definitely want to reach out to your governor. You want to reach out to your legislative people in the area and let them know, hey, you guys, you're sitting on a ton of money from the Federal Reserve, or from the Treasury. Take that money, turn around and give it back into the people in that area. But I want to cover a lot of those details for you in this video right now. So what does Congress have planned for moving forward? They're going to try to extend out this child tax credit, make it permanent maybe add in something that's going to allow it maybe to go out to the year 2025. The child tax credit is giving families that have children between the age of 6 and 17 a $3,000 check. And then children under the age of 6 is getting a $3,600 check. Now what they've done is they're paying monthly payments on this $3,600. They're kind of paying it forward with this. Now if they make it permanent, it looks like it'll be just a monthly check coming in every month, and that could help out a lot of families for that. If they make a child tax credit permanent, that means $3,600 per children. So basically any children that are born are going to be right into that system where they're going to be getting a monthly check. Could be good. I don't know where they're going to get all the money to spend to that. They got to borrow money. They got to create more money to get it moving forward. Also, they're going to try to maybe get this minimum wage hike from $7 up to $15 per hour. This is something that's going to put a lot of pressure on businesses. I don't know how a lot of businesses are going to survive. We'll probably be left with just Walmarts and Kmart's, or Walmarts and Amazons and things like that, because a lot of the small businesses will not be able to survive on that. But they're going to try to bump that up. Me personally, the way inflation is going right now, they should have this at $25 per hour. It's way too low still because the rate of inflation now, the way that the federal government is spending and they're printing this money, it's just creating all kinds of price increases, and that wages cannot keep up with these demands of the inflation. So they should bump it up to like $25 an hour. But they might put this into the American Families Plan, and then American Families Plan could get passed in this $3.5 trillion package that the House of Representatives is going to put together and get it over to the Senate. Now, there also is that $1.2 trillion package that the Senate had voted on. They've already voted on that. They got that done. That's going to be the American Jobs Plan. That's going to get more money into the infrastructure. They're going to be able to spend $1.2 trillion into the economy. We'll see where that goes, who's going to get that benefit from that. And we'll see if the actual jobs is going to be created from that $1.2 trillion infrastructure plan. Now, you do have Bernie Sanders, who is kind of head of this whole $3.5 trillion budget. Bernie Sanders is a socialist. He loves to spend the money. He loves to just take the money from the federal government and spend it into the economy. He loves to have all these different plans. So we'll have to see if he can get this passed. He is somebody that's, definitely wants to go towards the socialist avenue of having government spending a lot of money. I think the government should support the people that were affected by the closures of these states, because it was the governors that did shut down a lot of these businesses. I think they should be supported. So I kind of agree with him on that. But again, he's going to have to borrow that money. He's going to have to go to the Federal Reserve. They're going to have to send that money out to them. I personally think the Federal Reserve at one point is going to bypass Congress and the White House, and they're going to go straight to the people with an app called maybe a FedNow. I think it's called a FedNow stablecoin, that they'll just deposit that into your smartphone, and then they might have a time limit on it, and then you'll have to take that money and you'll have to spend it quickly. It could be like, here's $1,000, but you got to spend it in the next 15 days. That would get the velocity of money turning over quickly. And that's something that I think they're working on. And then, that'd be fun to see if they do have some type of time limit on that stimulus money. But that is going to be crazy, and that's going to be interesting to see. But right now they're using banks, they're using checks, old school stuff of getting stimulus out to everybody that needs it the most.
But it still has a long way to go. But I mean, the vote Wednesday, does prove President Biden said that he could get the two parties working together. Do you see common ground?
Well, I see common ground on that issue, Eric. But on the bill that I am working on, which deals with some of the long-term structural problems facing working families, unfortunately, I don't see any bipartisan support. I think we're going to have to do it alone within the Democratic caucus because, unfortunately, my Republican colleagues are not interested in asking the wealthiest people in this country who are doing phenomenally well, the large profitable corporations, to start paying their fair share of taxes. I think we have to do that. We can raise substantial sums of money in order to invest in the needs of working families.
And that's going to be a separate bill from the one that will be passed bipartisan. As you said, you have no bipartisan support. The price tag on the bill you're proposing, it's about half of what you originally proposed, is around $3.5 trillion right now. You haven't even got support from everybody in your own party, do you?
No, that's not true. We have, there will be a vote on early next week, I believe. We will have 50 votes plus the vice president voting to go forward. What we have to do then, which is part of the process, I got, 50 members of the Senate. Everyone has a different perspective, different needs, and we're going to have to bring those together. But we have the votes to go forward.
Okay, so moving forward, so is there room for negotiation when you've got a couple of holdouts like Kyrsten Sinema and Joe Manchin who want the bill, they just don't want the price tag?
Well, there's going to be a lot of discussion about a lot of issues, but at the end of the day, I think what people in this country want, what members of the Democratic caucus want, is that at a time when the wealthiest people are doing phenomenally well, that maybe, just maybe, government starts representing the needs of the working class and the middle class. And we do that in a lot of ways. This, in my view, is one of the most comprehensive pieces of legislation since FDR in the 1930s and the Great Depression. What that does is we're going to cut childhood poverty in half. Many people in Louisiana and around the country have already started receiving those $300 child tax credit every single month. That's going to go a long way to help working families raise the kids. If you are older on Medicare, we intend to expand Medicare to cover dental care, hearing aids, eyeglasses, something that's long overdue. We're going to end the absurdity of the United States being the only major country on earth not to provide paid family and medical leave. We're going to invest very heavily in housing so that people don't have to pay 50% of their limited incomes on housing. We're going to make community colleges tuition free. So by and large, what we're trying to do here is address the long neglected needs of working class families, create millions of good paying jobs, and tell the people on top, you know what, government's got to work for all, not just the few.
So it's good news for a lot of the other states. Texas right now, it looks like Irvine is going to be sending out, looks like $2,000 checks to teachers. Some of the other cities in Texas will be sending out $1,000 checks. Tennessee is sending out $1,000 checks to teachers and part-time teachers. And to me, I'm not sure why they're really sending out checks to teachers and frontline workers. I get it that they're important, but it seems to me like they should be doing what California is doing, is actually sending out stimulus to the citizens that qualify for that. But New Mexico, they received $1.8 billion and they're spending $5 million of that to those that qualify for that, about $750 payments to about 4,000 residents in New Mexico. Michigan, $500 hazard pay to teachers. Georgia, $1,000 retention bonuses to try to keep teachers around. It's like $660 million. I'm not sure how much Georgia received total in the stimulus package, but I'm guessing it's close to Florida. Florida received $9 billion. They're turning around and spending $1,000 payments to everybody in that state, $1,000 checks. Now, the difference in Florida, though, is they're sending out checks to EMT workers, police, firemen, frontline workers in the state of Florida. So that is a step up from all the other states. And this is really only 8 states out of the, 51 states that we have that are actually sending out any money at all. California is going to be sending out $600 checks to people that qualify for that, and $500 to kids in that area. This is Gavin Newsom's $100 billion relief package that's going out. I'm not sure how much this is tied into Gavin Newsom getting recalled in the state of California. I don't know if he's trying to buy some votes in there, but at least he is definitely getting $600 payments out to everybody and getting those payment checks to the people in California. You do have to live in California, and you have to file your returns with the Treasury in the state of California to get those checks sent out to you. So there is a push for this fourth stimulus check. In fact, there's two bills in Congress right now in the House of Representatives. You have the SUPPORT Act, which is the sending unconditional payments to people overcoming resistance to Triumph. This is a bill that's trying to get these monthly payments. They want to get $1,200 payments on a monthly basis, and then $600 for children. There's also a Genuine Progressive Indicator Act, which is legislation designed to build a 21st century economy. I think the GPI Act is where they're going to be sending out payments based on the unemployment data. So if the unemployment rises, they send out a check. Unemployment drops, then they don't send out checks. They're going to use this automatic stabilizer plan to get more checks out to people. This is a possibility, and this could be in the American Families Plan. This would be some type of guaranteed income or guaranteed universal basic income to people. I think they personally have to do that because the way that they're printing money, the way they're just sending out money to everybody, they got to be able to support these lower income people that aren't able to go in and support themselves, especially a lot of these businesses in the area that shut down, and these people in that area can't go and find work anymore because the businesses that they worked at before shut down, and it just becomes this process over and over and over again. So I would like to see them get some type of universal basic income, but at some point they're going to have to let these businesses flourish and open up and not put restrictions on them. Because if these businesses have restrictions on them and they can't open up, or they're required to do things, then they can't really support themselves because people don't want to go in there and spend the money in there. So a lot of these businesses are going to have to shut down. If they shut down, then those employees will not be able to go in there and work. Unfortunate, but that's the way this has been going out there. But again, a lot of these states are set up to where they're sending out checks to people, which is good news. I think it's good because definitely these states have to be sending out checks. I just wish some of the other states would step up and do it. I mean, you got all the other states that can do it, Louisiana, Alabama, name them all, that aren't sending out stimulus checks. I don't know why their governors are sitting on all that money, but every state has billions of dollars that was sent to them by the American Rescue Plan. So it's a lot of good news, and I think that a lot of moving forward, it's going to be a lot of new stimulus checks going out over the course of the next couple of weeks. We just got to wait for Congress to step up and get more checks out to people. So really, if you have any questions, you can drop those in the comments below. Let me know if you have any questions about SSI, SSDI, or any of the stimulus checks that have been going out. So this is your daily stimulus check update information for today.